Black Ninja Ninja Ninja. 5 ago. Here's a cool story. I had a crazy dream 2 years ago. I was on another world. People were the same, but something about them was different. I knew them and they knew me, but they didn't remember anything. Just my name and that they know me. I thought my friends were pranking me or something, but it turned out they weren't. I was getting kind of scared. As I was talking to one of my friends, they suddenly stopped talking and stared deep into my soul. I got the chills. I stepped back and just watched them smiling at me without knowing what to do. Just then I heard a beep. It was my alarm. Phew, so it was just a dream. I thought. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was the same friend from my dream, Susie. I picked up and she screamed, "You are so late for the party." I have totally forgotten about that party. I got dressed. I cleaned up well, because the party was exclusive. So, as I got out of the house, I suddenly had a strange feeling. It was like deja vu. The people that passed me, the cars, everything. I didn't think much of the situation. I had deja vus almost every day, so it was normal for me. I got into a cab and went to the party. I arrived at the party, where I met Susie. STE told me that someone was waiting for me. I didn't expect anyone, so I didn't know who it was. SLE led me to the person waiting for me. It was a handsome, tall, well-dressed man. He held his hand against me. I looked him in the eyes and shook his hand. "Hello, miss," he said. I asked him if I know him. He didn't answer. Something about his gaze was off and I couldn't shake that feeling off. He signaled me to follow him and he took me and Susie to a basement. Then he turned to me and told me to turn around. I did it without questioning him. I slowly turned around until he instructed me to stop. I was facing Susie's face. I almost screamed in shock. She was smiling at me. Like in the dream. That creepy smile, that dug into my soul. I felt a chill down my spine. She didn't speak, and so did I. We just stared at each other. Suddenly her gaze seemed lifeless. She just stood there, watching me straight into my eyes. I didn't know what to say or do. I couldn't move. Then her eyes started bleeding as if because of the concentrated staring. I started sobbing. Quietly. I still couldn't move. I just stood there and watched her eyes bleed. After a while, she fell lifeless to the ground. I started crying hysterically. Then I remembered about the man. What happened to him? And why couldn't I move? Just as I was about to say something in tears, I felt a sharp, heart-stopping pain in my back and my chest. I slowly looked down only to find a knife daggered through me. I started screaming. The man had daggered me with a knife in an abandoned basement below a wild party and my dead best friend was lying on the floor. The man twisted the knife and I screamed in pain. Why weren't I waking up? Wasn't this a dream? I was really hoping it all was. Guess it wasn't. He twisted the knife in me again and again. Every time felt like a lifetime of suffering and pain. I couldn't take it anymore. But I still couldn't move at all. Just my head. I turned my head to him and quietly, catching my breath from screaming, asked him why. While crying. He then stopped and looked me dead in the eyes. He didn't say a word. I waited for an answer, but it seemed like I wouldn't get one. Just then he opened his mouth to speak, but I woke up. So it was all just a dream. A really realistic one. From then on, I started confusing life with dreams. Everything seemed like a dream. People started calling me crazy and many of my friends left me because of that, including Susie. But I didn't care. I was in too much pain. Even if it was I dream, I still think about it. All the time. And I will never forget it. Interesting story, said my therapist. Not if you're in it, I replied. Because once you go through all that, you start to realize how beautiful life is.